1051.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club.
And a man you rarely ever see in New York, if ever.
What's up?
My man Plies.
Plies is here. What up, homie?
They making me nervous. I see Ann's got notes, and this ain't good. Anytime I come in, this ain't good.
No, but let's talk about what songs do I always request when Envy mix?
Shorty. And,
Bussin' Baby.
But Plenty Money.
No, there's another one. There's another one that she
got
loves.
notes though, Charlamagne. I done cut mine over there at you too. It's notes.
No,
on
this for something else. This
But
for
we put my name on the top of that, man.
Oh, I don't look at this though. I don't never look at these. These are just questions they give.
All right, I have a question.
Uh-oh. Hey, Ann, I promise.
They done interrogated. They done built a case on you, Plies.
So did you find a throat to rent? Because I know you was looking for somebody's throat to rent. I seen that on Twitter.
I see how this finna go. But I'm gonna give it to you though. Nah, I ain't find no throat to rent, but at that time I was trying to find rental.
Okay, all right. Because you said, are there any porn stars that follow me? And then
That was a question. I always wondered that.
You know there's porn stars that follow you.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Ain't none of them tell me they was though.
Oh yeah, what'd they say? So what happens if people tweet you back and say, yeah, you can rent my throat, or how does that work?
I be thinking people catfishing me anyway. So. That don't
You ever
work
had a
for me.
celebrity hit you up, but you knew this ain't her?
I don't really live in that world, Charlamagne, for real. Like for me, I think I'm a more common person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I talk to Yee, but that's probably the biggest industry person I probably talk to.
Yee want to be ratchet so bad. Every time you have an event down there, Yee be like, I gotta go. I'm like, Yee, that's in the dirtiest part of Florida. She's like, yeah,
I
that's
can't
all
come
right.
to work. I gotta go to the strip-a-thon.
That's right.
But that's
Y'all
one.
Yee ratchet?
She want to be ratchet.
She wanna be.
She ain't really ratchet. She want to be ratchet. She'll do stuff like pee in the street, smoke some weed, pop a pill every now and then.
I don't pop pills. Shut up.
But you did pee in the street.
I have peed in the street before, yes.
Okay.
She
But
stopped,
I think
though.
everybody
She grew
has.
up. You stopped though.
I have pictures of Charlamagne peeing in the street. Does that
I'm a
make him
grown ass man. I can pee in the street with ease. That's why I got a penis. I can just whip out. Now they always do say you antisocial when it comes to the industry. Why you don't rock with a lot of industry cats, man?
Not really. I don't feel like I'm antisocial. I remember having a conversation with Envy probably 4 or 5 years ago. Chris?
But
About
let
3
me
years
guess what
ago.
happened. Envy
About
asked
3
for a
years.
favor. He asked you to do something for free.
No, I'm gonna
Yee
tell you
can
what.
put
Envy
our
did.
business out there. Yee.
That's
But
why
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
tell you what
guessing.
happened.
Them New Yorkers they don't like to pay you now, Plies.
They don't like to pay.
No. You ain't getting that 40, 50 you get down south.
No, I think the first time I ran into Envy was at 40?
Yep.
And he was with Red Cafe, and
that's
we
a
chopped
while
it up.
ago.
And I was telling him I had just ran across him in the magazine. I was on the plane, and I seen him standing in front of the crib with like a lot of cars. So I was like, man, it's impossible that he just a DJ. Like he got to have a trap or something, and it's impossible. So I ended up meeting with Crespo. He was like, man, Envy want to talk to you. Want to pull you to the side. So we came here. He pulled me to the side. We was in the same room. Envy said, man, I just want to keep it real with you. It's like, I feel like my chance is better getting to Obama than you. You know, people don't like to feel like they can't get to you, man. Like, that's why I was like, damn. Like, I ain't really no dog, you know. I ain't know he dealt with me on that level.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, it ain't about being antisocial.
But then what did he ask for after that?
He didn't ask me for nothing.
They didn't ask him for nothing.
Envy's so dramatic.
But I just feel like
they
it
didn't
came
to
from.
Obama's.
Nah, they didn't ask
I
for
think this is the part that people don't understand about me. Like, I come from an environment where being friendly ain't the cool thing. Like, I feel like you get money with people that you get money with, and you know, you carry your own weight, and you know, you kind of mind your own business. So that's kind of how I move. But in this industry, I came to find out it's different because I'm trying to apply street principles to corporate America, and a lot of times when you don't speak to people, it rubbed in the wrong way.
You can't keep it real with fake people. You just got to be fake with
That's a
them.
perfect way to say it.
Yeah, so for me, you know, I think kind of growing a little bit from a artist standpoint, I kind of understand that now, because what ain't important to me might be important to somebody else.
Gotcha.
So for me, if somebody see me and don't speak, I ain't never tripping. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, we know each other anyway.
Gotcha.
Well,
You
what's
know,
fun to you?
Getting money, that's like it for real.
All right. Well, let's talk about some of your new music that you put out.
Yep.
Whenever she look at that paper, it ain't gonna go well. Because she really looking at the questions she want to ask, but she gonna hit you with a light jab about some music.
But I went through this with Ange at her other job.
Okay.
I told her, I know how I start off. It start off real
No,
good.
but let's talk about-
What you really want to ask me is at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
gotta
I'm
grease
just
you up.
prelim right now.
No, I'm gonna be honest.
I know the good questions coming in about 15 more minutes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The first time I interviewed Plies, he did not want to do the interview with me. They
Why?
actually had to force him to.
I ain't like Ange. I thought she was too nosy.
She is. You got that right.
And I think at the time Rick was working when I came to New York, and I kept saying, I said, man, I don't want to do this show, Rick. He was like, no, I'm telling you, she cool. I was like, bro, I don't want to do this show. Like, I done heard this chick before. She want to know everybody's business. She always talking about everybody's business.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to do the show.
That's her.
But, you know, and actually when we did Ann's show, they played her piece in court. When I went to court,
Oh my God.
they Googled when me and my brother sat down and interviewed with her. And they was using everything that we said. They was using to
What
get
was you
me
in
in
court
court.
for?
Actually, we went for the $10 million lawsuit, the shooting that happened in Gainesville. So at the time, they was saying the people that was shooting, they worked for me. I hired them. So therefore, they felt like I was responsible for
Is that
it.
when you yelled from the stage, somebody
that's
gonna
not
die
when-
tonight or somebody
They
gonna
use that in
get
court
shot?
too.
Not when you made me dunk.
I
the
had
other
to
day.
give you dunk.
Nah, that was another incident.
Because to me,
That was another
I've
incident.
always watched how you move, and I'm like, that ain't even Plies' character to put it out there like that, even if somebody was gonna get
I
shot.
think it was one of them situations being caught up in the moment. My brother seen the piece, he called me like, hey, bro, you tripping. But it was a situation, I think it was in Orlando, and I was just doing me. But I had pulled some chicks on stage, so it was like some dudes to the left. And I think I forgot what they threw on stage, but you know, I kind of got in my feelings a little bit.
Plies is everybody getting shot tonight.
Everybody.
Don't bring that up because they're gonna use this in court too.
But that's why I don't be around a lot of
Niggas.
industry things, for real.
Yeah, stay away from these guys, man.
Because at any given time, it go to the left, and when I'm out there, I'm out there. Like, and I already know that about me. Like, I ain't good when it comes to that space.
I'm glad to see your neck is all right too, man. They say you fractured your neck.
And it said, you broke your neck, man.
So, man, you had to start that
Because of
one.
that 7 kilo.
That's too crazy. You know what? I ain't never heard a rumor about me that was true.
You
Ever.
never?
Not yet. Not one. And I ain't never heard a rumor about me that I was like, boy, they got me.
Let's talk about the chain a little bit. Why 7? Where is it? 7 or 8 kilos?
envy.
That's
I'm
just
gonna keep it too simple. That's like your car selection.
right.
Like, why?
Yeah, why you got a Phantom, a Bentley?
Like, why? It's just some things we do that
Murcielago.
just it ain't an answer for.
But you just want to issue on everybody. Be like, you know what? This is enough. Enough's enough.
But gold appreciates in value, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only difference with a lot of the other pieces I done bought before, because I just had to learn diamonds is terrible investment. You know, gold is gold.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I always been into jewelry. Like, one point I was like, I'm gonna bag up a little bit. Like, I ain't gonna really get out there jewelry wise. But Cuban links was different, because I feel like in Florida that's always been the street
Yes,
thing.
sir.
Well, they solid gold. You can always bust that down.
Right. They
Well,
always been the
Charlamagne
street.
said it's not.
What up?
Charlamagne was trying to tell us. He came in here. He said his chain's not real, and his
That ain't what Charlamagne said.
You can't make me believe that about
Charlamagne,
my
I
dog,
said
man. I
somebody
ain't
told
believing
me
that.
that.
Yeah.
I ain't say it wasn't real. I said,
then he tried to go
I said,
and
I
get
know
one.
she. I said, ask Plies.
Plies for a quick 30 seconds. Charlamagne said he was about to order a
I
sterling
was.
silver chain and dip it in gold.
Dip it in gold.
For
I
like
ain't-
he went
30
to go
seconds.
get it, and him and
For
Duval
30
went to go
seconds.
get
He
him.
laughed
Yeah.
at me. He was like, how much you pay for that, Envy? I told him, he said, I'm going to pay $2,000 for mine. He laughed at me, and then,
We'll get the Envy. We'll get the Charlamagne first, then we'll get the Envy. Envy no jury.
and then,
I know Envy.
Girl,
no
and then he
jury.
snapped out of it.
Yeah, I went and bought a real one.
He went and bought a
I
real
went and bought
one.
a real one because of this chain right here.
Yeah, he snapped
I
out
Bought
started
a real one.
I started to get a whole kilo. I said, I just want to do one video like Plies, and Plies like, yeah.
he snapped out of it. He
I
snapped
know,
out
I
of it.
know, I know. Envy no jury. Envy he a big jury card.
Nigga, that's a
Charlamagne,
weapon.
But I don't never see you with jury. You a jury dude?
Not really,
He
but
got
you
a couple
know,
pieces. He got
I-
a Jesus piece. That's
Yeah,
a
but
little
and I
bit of
went and
bread.
bought a Cuban link after I saw your
The
video.
Cuban.
A real one though. I was gonna get the fake one. And then,
You know you can't do that.
Angela got on the phone.
He
with you.
almost did, though. He almost did. He had
But
it
you
up
know
here
they
and
ain't gonna never
everything.
let you live if they find out you got a fake one.
I
They
was
ain't
gonna tell
let you
everybody.
live. They ain't
So
gonna
I
let
can get
you
away with
live.
that because I crack jokes. Everybody like, well, I can get away. I'm like, I'm not the first person in hip hop to wear fake jewelry. This is the first to admit it.
Right.
But then when she said yours was real and how much you paid for it, I said, well, I can't step out there like that. I gotta go get a real one.
He almost did, though.
I ain't get no 7 kilos though.
Jeweler came up here, brought it up here for him and
Yeah,
everything.
he
Nah,
did.
you
Yeah.
can't do
And he
that.
was like, man, I can't do
Nah, I
that.
can't do
You
that,
gotta
man.
keep it real. You know you can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do
The
it.
fake one looked better than Envy's though, because they put it next to Envy's. I was like,
That's
It was
true.
shiny. It was
No, it's
shiny.
true.
It was
But
brand new.
I started to look at Envy one like Envy one might be fake.
yeah.
But that's how I felt about the Jesus pieces. The Jesus pieces
Oh,
was the
my
same way.
goodness.
Like, I ain't never really get caught up in the Jesus pieces because they had them very well.
Now, what's the worst rumor you heard about you online?
I don't think none of them. I mean, they don't be crazy to me because I take it for what it is.
Yeah,
Like,
No,
I
there was
picture.
this little Plies guy running
A
around.
little Plies
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, he was drinking a milkshake with another man. You ever seen that picture?
What are you
Crazy.
talking about?
You never see that picture?
No.
and
Everybody seen
I
that.
ain't see that picture.
but that's the part that be like super. That's the part be super good to me because I know like you reaching for real. Like you
Yeah.
really trying to, you really trying to put it on the boy. So for me, that's why I walk light, man. I walk light because I already know like any chance you get to try to discredit me, I already know what it is. So.
Oh,
cool,
that's
though.
the dude. That's foul, man.
No, but what about the?
Right. That ain't right.
That's him.
What?
That's the one they say was Plies.
Who? That's him. That's your computer guy back there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But what about the little Plies guy? He was on Twitter and everything. Now I looked at it as like he was paying homage to you. Like he's a big fan of yours. He did look just like you, and he was doing appearances and.
But I look at it for what it is too, man. Like, you know, from an artist standpoint, I feel like you really moving the needle when people care about you enough to try to, you know, look like
Do you take that as an insult or as a compliment though?
It depends on how far it go.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just, you know, you dressing up and you doing your thing, like, you know, I can't stand in no way of that. I ain't never did that, but.
Now you also did a Trayvon Martin chain, Back to the Jewelry, and you did a Trayvon Martin song. Explain that a little bit. Why you stood up for Trayvon Martin so tall?
I think just by being from Florida, and like it was, you know, that was a sensitive situation for the world, but at the end of the day, like it really, you know, it put things in perspective in Florida. Like being from Fort Myers and having a crib in Tampa, Sanford is probably like 45 minutes away from me. So, you know, to see the situation, I couldn't make sense out of that. I think that was the biggest thing to me. You know, but that's what I always tell people about the justice system is that, like, I done been in them situations where this don't make sense to how we think. Right. But to white America, for the most part, the laws wasn't written by a street cat. So, yeah, I always look at it, they was meant to be broken by street dudes. So I think that situation of me getting the piece made, it was just me showing my respects for real. It ain't no different than the Boots situation.
Did you reach out to the family?
Actually, when we made the record and we was giving all the proceeds to them. I know my attorney talked to their attorney, but personally talking to them, no, I ain't never talked to them.
But you know, the staying your ground law can work both ways because you rock a lot of jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might try you in Florida. You might have to handle your business.
But it's gonna be different in that courtroom. They ain't gonna be able to understand why I did it though, because they gonna feel like you should just gave up the chain.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I think that's where it get tricky. It get tricky when they get in the courtroom because the people who determine your future, they don't think how we think. You know, they think from more of a corporate standpoint, so a corporate mind frame. So, you know, that's for me the best thing I can tell you is try to stay from out of there. How
much does having Gates back on the street help you? Because he was, when you first got your deal and got on, he wasn't around. He was locked up. But now having him back, how does it help? It
helped for me, man, in a crazy way, because I know if my brother was still out here, it's 50-50 that we still to be here. My brother was the Rob or the D-boy, like that's what it was, and that's how we was moving at the time. But we had enough business savvy that we was making the music that we was living. And people felt that, but I think by him being incarcerated, when going to prison the second time, it allowed him to come back home to a different situation. He came home and it was a sack that this time. The first time he went to prison and came back, we were still trying to get it from the muscle.
I barely ever see you two together.
Nah, we don't like being it. When I never forget the story. When we got locked up in Gainesville, we was in the holding cell together, and one of my partners that was with me at the time, he was like, boy, they got us, boy. So we was sitting, I was at the bottom bunk, my brother was at the top bunk. And we always told ourselves, well, if we ever get out of this, we ain't gonna never be in the same place at the same time again. Because if one of us fall, we need the other one to be out. In this situation here coming to New York, he had to take a meeting with Atlantic yesterday, so he kind of was up here on default. But we ain't never the same place at the same time.
I like Gates, and he's a lot more fun than you are most of the time.
Absolutely.
He's the party guy.
Absolutely.
I'll be like, when Plies goes out,
he was out last night. I wasn't out last night.
You don't like the club. Plies did the...
No, he do like the club.
I ain't never seen Plies in no club.
I do it just...
We was in Charlotte one day. Plies said, meet me in the lobby in 15 minutes. I'm down there like a fool.
No.
And
But it wasn't like that. Because I came and found you. I knocked on your door.
Yeah.
You was playing like you was asleep. You were halfway asleep. Had all the lights off in the room. I said, ain't no way I'm walking in.
Hey, you know why? I'm going to tell you why, right? Because I'm laying in the bed, right? I hear knocking on the door, so I look through the peephole. All I see is Plies out there with 5 or 6. I'm like, damn, I did get Plies donkey today. So then I look at my phone, and Angela Yee's like, yo, Plies coming in the room to holler at you. I'm like, all right. So I'm looking. At least if something happened, at least somebody know what happened. So I answered the door. But it was all good.
Yeah, but he come to the door. He got on tight t-shirt. I said, "What this nigga he doing push-ups?" That's the first thing I said. Is he in here doing push-ups? I see all the lights coming. I said, he opened the door like, "Come in." I said, "Boy, I ain't going in there." Ain't no way I'm finna go in there. You got all the lights on.
You trying to say so Charlamagne came on to you?
Nah, you just
Oh,
can't.
here she go.
And she don't never let me
Here she
live ever.
We was drinking some Remy. Plies drink the same thing I drink.
Yeah, we definitely big on. I heard Remy cut you the check though. They ain't cut me the check yet.
Oh.
I don't know
what's
nothing
up
about
with
that,
Remy.
Plies, but we can talk, later on. Why'd you go with the name Plies, man? Because your real name is kind of ill. I like the real name.
My
Sound
real
like
name Algernon.
yeah, that's like a superhero.
You
Like,
think so?
yeah, man.
Nah, we was at the barbershop one day. One of my homeboys had just got out of prison. Then we was standing up there. We was just talking. We used to hang at the barbershop on MLK. So we was just sitting out there drinking. And he kept saying, Plies. But he wasn't talking to me. We just was having a conversation. So I always asked him, I said, "Man, what that mean?" And he was like, "Nah, in prison, I came up with that. That's what we call people that's getting money." So when I started doing the music thing, kind of took it serious. I always said I wanted to use a name that was a representation of the crib. So that's kind of how it came up.
Absolutely.
But we used to call everybody, if you was getting money, we called you Plies. So everybody had that name. Everybody who was getting money had that name.
What happened to the chick who had that song, Yankee, man?
Oh,
that's a lady?
Yeah, that's a lady.
Was
Lady
that
Silk.
your
I
artist?
remember I heard
Yeah,
that song on
that's
that
my
show,
brother signed
Girls. That was my song when I heard it.
Yeah, my brother signed her. Lady doing her thing. She got a different following though. Her following, it's one of them unique situations. Like, she got a lot of people in the I guess it's cool to say the gay world that that love her to death. So
Gotcha.
her situation don't. I think my brother got it. I think that's part of the reason he was up there. I think he's shopping a couple situations for her right now.
Okay. Now, you've been working with Rico Love a lot because I see y'all
Yep.
always together
Mhm.
and everything. And he did Faithful, and you have him actually on the hook of the song and everything in the
Right.
video. What's the relationship with Rico Love? Because
I deal with Rico, man. Rico, good dude. I went down. Craig set up a 3-day for me to sit down with Rico in Miami. So we went down there and just did our thing, just recorded some records. I think Rico probably got the dopest pen in the game right now. I know he's doing his artist thing right now, but no, it was just one of them situations. It happened organically, so I was cool with it. But I think the records that we put out so far, F and the What, that was the first record we put out from the new project, and then we came back with the Faithful record. So I think Rico dope.
You think your label has faith in you?
Absolutely. I just think the time's different now. I think you're dealing with everybody being more strategic about stuff that they probably didn't care about before.
How many more albums you have left there?
This actually I got one more album with Atlantic.
Would you go stay independent or would you sign back to a major?
It's different. We move like a small indie now. I mean, we move independently, but it's some things that I can't do. Like I can't do radio for real. Right. And then my situation don't really work for me because me being antisocial, like that's when it play against you a little bit. You know what I mean? But I'm cool with it. Like that's one thing about me. Like I ain't never tripping. Like I was talking to somebody yesterday. I think I performed in New York like one time. I performed
we talked about that
LA.
earlier. You did one show in New
that
York.
was at the Highline
Why you hate New
Ballroom.
York?
I don't.
You just don't like coming in.
It ain't that. It's just, it was kind of like South Beach at first. Like I ain't even deal with South
You
Beach.
did your first show in Miami last year, right?
Nah, I'm always through Miami, but I never used to do the South Beach side of it. Like
Gotcha.
it wasn't me. Like I was always uncomfortable over there. So when I used to come to Miami, I just used to do the Cocos, the Rolexes. But probably about 2 years ago, I started trying out the South Beach side of it. But I just think when it comes from an overall label perspective, like I've been one of the few artists Atlantic. If I'm telling Atlantic I'm ready to go, like they cool. But I just know how important it is for right now for me to do what I've been doing, and that's caring 100% about my core. I feel like when I want to do the mainstream thing, this mainstream to me. But when I want to wake the mainstream people up, that's always gonna be about a record.
Now, you never seemed the type to have to prove yourself. It was one time when people was like, "Oh, Plies ain't real. He a fake goon, this and that." But you never went out of your way.
You don't even respond to that.
responded
That's
to
bait.
anything.
Cause I don't have no issues. Like I move around how I want to move around. Like I don't have them issues that some got to go on with me, and I tell you that ain't what it is, and then you find out it's what it is. Like I don't play them games. Like I know what that's about. That's successful problems that come with it. Like I don't know nobody who you can go anywhere and everybody tell you who they say they is. Like it don't go like that.
Yeah, because people do always try to come at you, and I've never heard you respond to anybody. I've never heard you respond to an artist,
That's
a
like
DJ.
saying my neck was broke from a chain. Like I ain't get on Twitter to clear that up.
That could have been a real rumor though. That's a big change though.
I mean, that just sounded fake.
It sounded crazy. Now, what's your relationship with Gucci? We seen Gucci go at everybody on Twitter, but
you stole one of his beats. He said.
Nah, I mean that's a situation. That's one of them situations. Like, I had a unique situation with Gucci. Like, a time before, like when Gucci had his own issues he was going through. Like, I was a dude that he used to chop it up with. Like, he used to come to Tampa or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We used to hang out. Just it wasn't about music. It wasn't about none of that. And I feel like that didn't change. I feel like with this game though, this game come with a lot of pressures, and if you ain't really got the right team around you to keep you on the straight and narrow to be able to block out a lot of the games that they play with you, it can be overwhelming to you. And I think, me personally, I just feel like that was the space that Dog was in. Like, anytime you allow yourself to move like an indie, now you trying to play the corporate side game that which you probably ain't the most comfortable in. I think sometimes, it can get to that point. It's just for me, like I said, I ain't one of them dudes who finna jump on social networks to vent my frustrations. But at the same time, I wish Big Home the best. I hope he bounced back from this situation. But
have you spoken to him?
Nah, I ain't spoke to him. I know that those situations are crazy. Like, I always tell people, Gooch one of the sharpest dudes I've met. I know everybody got their perception about him from, the outer appearance of him, but Dog pretty sharp.
You and Boosie got a good relationship. You always send him commissary.
I understand Dog's situation. You know what I mean? That's one of them situations that that can be in us that come from that, for real. Especially when you one of the few artists that you really living what you rapping about, for real. I think it's a catch-22 in a lot of it, but I just think at the end of the day, I understood that situation. Like, ain't nobody, when I failed a few times that I did, like, I ain't had nobody look out for me. So for me, I think it's just more about respect. It's more about just keeping your name alive. Like I said in the record a couple weeks ago, like, Dog don't owe me nothing when he touched down. I just feel like, for me, if it ever happened to me, I wish somebody would step up, to keep my name alive. Or if my old girl needed a bet, somebody shot him something. But other than that, I don't feel like, the Big Homie owed me nothing. I respect what it was that he do. I think he respect what it is that I do.
Right.
And I just keep it pushing like that.
Does he reach back out to you?
Yeah, he wrote me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of girls are you talking to? Because first you put out a song, We Effin' or What, then you put out Faithful. Okay, so is it, girls, and then you
he wants to run a joy every once in a while.
I like an animal. It don't even really matter. As long as she an animal, she cool with me.
What's an animal?
That's why she's single,
clean, huh?
That's exactly why Angelique's single right there.
She don't know what no animal is?
She don't know what an animal is.
I just like you to be all out. I just like I don't think I'm a freaky dude, but I
Your
love a
songs
freak.
are pretty freaky.
Oh, Ange, you crazy. No way. You think my songs freaky? What make my songs freaky?
I mean, you have all these.
Come on,
Your
Ange,
songs are
stop.
very
What make my
sexual.
song freaky? Come on, give it to me. Don't give me the PG version.
What about Molly's? You ever do stuff like that?
Nah, I don't pop no pills.
You smoke weed or anything?
Yeah, I don't pop Molly's. I don't pop pills.
Okay.
You still do the strip-a-thon?
Yeah, man. Strip-a-thon just caught a life of his own. Like, Ange done been down there for that.
How much could you win for that? Because you need to get in. Ye buying a house right now. She broke. Ye broke.
You ain't broke. Y'all make good money
No,
over
ye
here.
broke.
Y'all got too much going on over here.
Ye is broke.
I haven't been
impossible.
shopping in a long time.
The other day, her hot water heater went out. We had to pay, give us
Y'all
some money
didn't
to
give
pay
me
for
no
hot water
money.
heater.
Stop
She had to
it.
take a cold whole bath, man.
I had to take a cold
Early in
shower.
the morning. Just
No,
on
y'all
that
got
arms
too
and
much
put
going
the
on.
vagina.
I know it ain't no broke going on over here.
So what's about that album Purple Heart, man? What's the meaning behind that title?
I kind of looked at my situation like that. I looked at my situation from my understanding of what Purple Heart mean. It's a double salute to all the soldiers. First of all, I feel like they bigger heroes than me. They got way more balls than I got when it comes to being on the front line. But I want to take it a step further. I feel like whether you a single parent, whether you somebody in the streets that's trying to get it together and make a way, provide for yourself, whether you somebody off in college that don't really got the means but you doing it on your own, I feel like all them people deserve Purple Heart. So I feel like my music is that, my story is that, and I think overall it was a great fit for the type of music that I'm making on this album.
You have a son also. Does he listen to your music?
No telling what he listen to for real.
What that little nigga listen to?
Yeah, I was finna say that, but nah, he, I try to diversify my son though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't try to force me off on him. Like, I don't try to put earrings in his ear. I don't try to make
How
him
old
dress
is he?
like me. My son 9,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't try to force that on him. But I let him kind of do him. I don't like to be in his way for real. Like he don't really like me in his way neither, but I don't like being in his way. Like if I go do something that's school oriented with him or something like that, you know, I kind of try to fly under the radar because I don't want the pressure on him. Like I ain't a dude that's finna be Instagramming my son. I feel like for me, I want him to be able to live as normal as he can possibly live because it's crazy people for real. So I don't bring him in my world for real. But if he get it, if he get my music or he asks me about Becky, you know, I tell him.
You tell him?
Tell him who Becky is?
How would you explain that, please?
No, I just told him, you know, I told him at some point, you know.
You gonna get some Becky.
He gonna get that neck at some point.
You told your
Yeah, I
son
told him
that?
at some point you gonna get that neck, but right now, you know.
gosh.
I told my son dribbling drills. You know, he told his son Becky.
Wait, you told your son to dribble? What?
Dribbling
Dribble when
drills.
he-
Basketball
Whoa.
dribbling
Whoa.
drills.
Oh, dribbling drills.
Dribbling drills. You always go too far. You know what, Plies? We appreciate you
Taught my son how to
coming.
dribble.
This way it goes left. Well, Plies, we appreciate you coming through today.
Anytime, big homie.
All right, we look forward to that. When is the album coming out?
Right now, I just got a deep conversation with Atlantic, so they want to do December, but I'm looking more towards February.
Okay. All right. Well, it's the Breakfast Club. It's the homie Plies.
Double salute.
Real people, real celebrities, real talk.
Join the Breakfast Club. Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Money.
No, there's another one.
Nah,
There's another one that
Y'all
she
got
loves.
notes though, Charlamagne. I done cut mine over there at you too. It's notes.
No,
on it.
this for something else. This for
But we
all.
put my name on the top of that, man.
Oh, you know I don't look at this though. I don't never look at these. These just questions they give.
All right,
you.
I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Ans, I promise.
They
Don't
done
you
interrogated.
do
They
it.
done built a case on you, Plies.
So
Don't you
did you find a throat to rent? Because I know you was looking for somebody's throat to rent. I seen that on Twitter.
I see how this finna go. But I'm gonna give it to you though. Nah, I ain't find no throat to rent, but at that time I was trying to find rental.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Because you said, are there any porn stars that follow me? And then you
That
said,
was a question I always wondered that.
you
I
know
always
there's
wondered.
porn stars that follow you.
You
Stop
think
it.
so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Ain't none of them tell me they was though.
Oh yeah, what they say? So what happens if people tweet you back and say, yeah, you can rent my throat, or how does that work?
I be thinking people catfishing me anyway. So that don't
You ever
work
had a
for me.
celebrity hit you up, but you knew this ain't her?
I don't really live in that world, Charlamagne, for real. Like for me, I think I'm a more common person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I talk to Yee, but that's probably the biggest industry person I probably talk to.
You want to be ratchet so bad. Every time you have an event down there, you be like, I gotta go. I be like, yeah, that's in the dirtiest part of Florida. She's like,
I
yeah, that's all
can't come
right.
to work. I gotta go to the strip-a-thon.
That's right.
But that's
Y'all
one.
think-
That's
y'all think
one.
Yee ratchet?
She want to be ratchet.
She wanna be.
She ain't really ratchet. She want to be ratchet. She'll do stuff like pee in the street, smoke some weed, pop a pill every now and then.
I don't pop pills.
But you-
Shut up.
But you did pee in the street.
I have peed in the street before.
Power 1051.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club.
And a man you rarely ever see in New York, if ever.
What's up?
My man Plies.
Plies is here. What up, homie?
They making me nervous. I see Ann's got notes, and this ain't good. Anytime I come in, oh man, this ain't good.
No, but let's talk about what songs do I always request when MV mix.
Shorty. And,
Bussin' Baby.
But plenty
Yes.
more.
She
But I
stopped,
think
though.
everybody
She grew up.
has.
You stopped, though.
I have pictures of Charlamagne peeing in the street. Does that
I'm a
make
grown
him
ass man. I can pee in the street with ease. That's why I got a penis. I can just whip out. Now they always do say you antisocial when it comes to the industry. Why you don't rock with a lot of industry cats, man?
Not really. I don't feel like I'm anti-social. I remember having a conversation with Envy probably 4 or 5 years ago. Chris?
But
3
let me
years
guess what
ago.
happened. Envy asked for a favor. He asked you to do something for free.
No, I'm gonna
Damn,
tell you what.
put
Envy
our
did.
business out there. You
That's
damn.
why I'm
I'm
just
gonna tell you what
guessing.
happened.
Them New Yorkers don't like to pay you now, Plies.
They don't like to pay.
No,